In March 2016, an event happened in Seoul, Korea that altered the definition of what does it mean to be human in the 21st century and perhaps forever. Most people thought it was just a game. A computer program called AlphaGo played against a top grandmaster called Lee Sedol the game Go. Go is a 2,500-year-old game made in China. Its rules are very simple, even a 5-year-old can learn it. Yet the amount of position is larger than the atoms in the foreseeable universe. The game is pure strategy, pure mind, pure complexity. It says to be the most difficult game in history of board games, much more than chess. And if you need an explanation for this, in 1996, a software named Deep Blue played against Garry Kasparov. Garry Kasparov back in the time was the biggest grandmaster until today is considered one of the biggest, even for players like Magnus Carlsen, which is right now the biggest grandmaster. Deep Blue won Garry Kasparov in 1997. It took another 19 years for a software to win a grandmaster in the game Go. In chess, the amount of positions is 10 power 40. In the foreseeable universe, the estimated amount of atoms is 10 power 80. In Go, the amount of possible position is 10 power 170. The possibility of an AI to win in brute force like Deep Blue did in Garry Kasparov in 1996 is impossible. No computer today can compute such amount of numbers. It has to invent different types of strategy in order to win the game. And that's exactly what it did in Move 37. In the second game against Lee Sedol in the match, the AlphaGo Move 37 placed a stone in a place so weird that the judges thought it was incorrect. They laughed at it, saying that a human being will never make such a decision. After looking at it for a few minutes, they understood why. The reason no human being ever done it is because the position is so brilliant that for 2,500 years that the game exists, no human foreseen this position. The second that Lee Sedol saw that in his move 37 he lost the game to an AI that invented a move that didn't exist for 2,500 years of existence of the game, he left the game immediately, didn't even wait for him to lose. Later on, he left Go forever, and he said, there is a player that can be undefeated. Now why is this so curious? Why is this so fascinating? Instead of being afraid that the machine won a game that exists for 2,500 years by inventing a new strategy, not by brute force, by inventing something that human beings didn't even foresee, the human beings were laughing and cheering and clapping their hands. Instead of being terrified by the fact that someone replaced us, we were happy. In this video, we're gonna talk about theology and why is it that when a computer replaces us, instead of being petrified, we're glad. But before we dive into that, we must answer a simple question. What is AI? There is so much hype around the idea of what is AI that people already got confused. So I will make it as simple as possible, and I'm stealing this example from Yuval Noah Harari, which I will put the lecture that brought forward this idea of talking about AI here in the description below. Let's say right now, me in my house, I have a coffee machine. In case of automation, which is basically a series of movements happens by specific laws, every time in 8 a.m., the coffee machine will make me a coffee that I like, the espresso that I choose. Let's even say I give it rules. I say on Sunday make me espresso, on Monday make me cappuccino, on Tuesday make me latte, doesn't matter. This is automation. Simple specific rules that I tell the machine to do every time. An AI on the other hand will come and tell me, I studied your time of sleep, I studied your metabolism, I studied your noise of enjoyment when you drink the coffee, I figure out a better time than 8 a.m. for you to drink coffee, and I figure out a better way to make you the coffee that you haven't tried before, which I think you like better. This is AI. So the definition or the understanding of AI is artificial intelligence. The definition means that AI learns something new. It is not a set of rules that we bound to it or a set of algorithms that understands a situation. How does AI work? Well, in a super simple understanding, AI works by statistics. Let's say right now I go to an orange field. When I go to the orange field, I would imagine that on the trees I see oranges. I wouldn't see Ferraris growing on the trees. Well, that's quantum physics. We might talk about that in a different subject, but you get the point. You probably want to see oranges. So AI calculates the statistics of what are the chances that the thing that you will see there will be oranges, and by that it gives you the answer of oranges. Now we do exactly the same when we look at the world, but again, different subject, just the basic of what AI is. Therefore, the difference of AI is not building a better tool. When we made the first combustion engine, we built a better tool that allows us to work faster, more immediate time, with less humans, which basically means more produce. AI is not a better tool. It is the thing that tells us what is the tool, where is the tool, why is the tool, and how to hit the tool in order to make it stronger. It is replacing the human being, as we seen in AlphaGo in 2016, to be a much higher version that cannot be imagined by human beings. And remember, that was 10 years ago. Now the question that comes to mind is, why is it that human beings are even trying to build such a machine? What is the hurry to build a machine that will basically replace us? We've seen, at least most of us, seen Terminator. We know what happens when the Skynet comes forward into the world and there are such things as Arnold Schwarzenegger and that aluminum guy. Machines can gain their own artificial intelligence and destroy us or control us or however you decide. Movies have been created about it, whether it's Machine X, Terminator, but for thousands of years, humans have always been fascinated with the idea of something replacing us. The real difference between AI and God or a pharaoh or a king or a president or a feudal or whatever it is the idea that AI is not a myth. So what do I mean by it? When we're talking about God, a king, a president, a feudal, those are all myths. This is a position we give a person and allowing him to control us. There is no inherent power whatsoever on a person besides the resources that he possesses. But as Dionysus talked about, when that person dies, he becomes a skeleton. He has nothing to offer besides his meat and bones. Therefore, he's a myth. God, at least for me, does not exist. It's also a myth. Unlike AI, AI is very clear here in the world. It is something that we can use, we can touch, and we use it every day. So we created a God that is not metaphysical anymore. Neither is he a myth, but actually something that we can use and create. And why is that? It's because deep down, most human beings do not want to be free. They want to become pets. They want to have the obligation towards an external resource that will decide for them what to do in the morning. That's why we chose a king, that's why we have presidents, and that's why we created an entity called God. Is because we want something to remove from us the responsibility and the heavy load of living. A brilliant psychologist named Aldous Huxley predicted this scenario in 1931, creating a book called Brave New World. Huxley predicted a world where human beings wake up, take a pill, smile a big smile, then go to their work, go to serving the big system. Huxley died in 1963. 6 years before the internet was first launched with the word law. Basically, the idea was a student in Cambridge tried to write log in, but because the internet was so low and so weak, he only was able to write LO and then the internet shut down. But that was the first idea of the internet in the world. Huxley never seen the internet, definitely didn't see AI, yet his predictions was accurate, not towards human beings controlling us, rather, AI systems that controls us. And not like George Orwell in 1984, where he wrote about the big brother and the cruel boot on your face and the brute power of control, rather from the comfortability and the enjoyment of control that prevents you from thinking about responsibilities and things that you need to do. Basically, Huxley understood the truth. You do not enslave people with change. You enslave them with pleasure. You don't need a boot. You need a couch, a screen, and an algorithm that knows exactly what you want before you do. Huxley thought the master would be human. That one he was wrong about. And this brings me to my actual point. The danger with AI is not that it will make mistakes. Rather, it will not replace us. The danger with AI is that it will be 100% logical, is that it will understand the exact problem and each and every time act on the logical part of it to prevent it from happening. And let me explain what I mean. Maybe you heard in theory, game theory, the theory called the prisoner's dilemma. What is basically the prisoner's dilemma? Two criminals are arrested. They are separated. They cannot communicate. The police offer each one of them a deal. If you snitch on your partner and they stay silent, you go free and they go to prison for 10 years. If you both snitch, you both get 5 years. If you both stay silent, you both get 1 year on a minor charge. Now, what should you do? An AI, according to pure logic, therefore according to game theory, therefore according to AI, you should snitch. Because in the 4 possible scenarios, 3 of them have an advantage if you snitch. Only one doesn't have one if you snitch. Therefore, there is no reason for you not to snitch. The difference between, according at least to me, and again I got that from Yuval Noah Harari, the difference between us and monkeys or elephants or dolphins, which are not less capable in IQ than human beings, depend on the human being of course, is not intelligent purely. Rather the possibility and the ability of human beings to trust each other. The simple idea that I elect a president to my country, knowing that there is 40, 50, 1 billion, depends on the country you live in, people around me, and I trust this one person to serve all of us, and to distribute the resources to all of us, and to control the resources to all of us, shows the difference in the ability of creating societies between human being and monkeys. Human beings in its old ancient mind can only gather around groups of 15, 16 people. Yet the human being nowadays understands that trust is what allows us to build huge societies. Therefore we were able to become what we are today. Because we trust a person that we've never seen, never talked to, that is so far away from us, that the simple idea of the myth behind the trust makes us able to build those societies. Now it is crucial to understand, this is not a bug in AI. This is a feature. This is the actual idea of what AI is. The terrifying part is that we are allowing, closely, to make this AI the holder of every distribution network, every resources network, weaponry, whatever it is. We will allow him slowly to control everything around us. And what is the only possible explanation to tell AI make human beings as happy, as resourceful, and as quiet as they can be, is to control every small aspect of their living. Because clearly, human beings, as much as they advance, the more they destroy, whether it's the rest of the world or themselves. And I don't need to tell you. Look at atomic bombs, look at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, look at the world that we're living in. It's very simple to understand. As human being goes forward, the more it destroys around him, and the more it destroys itself. Therefore, AI with enough power and with the right task will control every aspect of our living and allow us to live it properly according to its own AI. And I think the perfect example and the perfect representation of this concept is a great show called Pluribus by Vince Gilligan, the guy who wrote Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. In Pluribus, the society became a society of one mind connected to all, with all human beings and all of their experiences, knowledge, understanding combined into one unified brain, with a few human beings left their own sane. But those human beings, the connected ones, share their resources so usefully, share everything so well that no human being is starving, no human being is in a position of unwealth, no human being is in a position of anger, of sadness, of hunger, of anything. But all of those human beings have no freedom. They're not human beings anymore, they control itself. That's exactly the representation of what happens when AI takes control of everything. The self-mind, the idea of self-freedom, ceases to exist. And the only thing that exists is the pure logic and the pure control that AI will possess over us. So, if we understand that AI is becoming stronger day by day, and we as a society and as human beings allow it to become stronger day by day, as for some reason we trust AI more than we trust ourselves, right? What can we do? What we, the simple human being that is watching right now this video, can do in order to allow yourself to live a better life and to prosper in the future. The worst thing you can try to do is to try and abandon the capabilities and the advantages that this AI and these technologies gives to you. I am not telling you in any way or so, leave your computer, throw your phone away, live in a cabin, pay only cash, drive only fuel, etc., etc. No, not only this is improbable, this is also ridiculous, because the cloud capital, which we will talk about in the next video, always control you. Whether you drive a Tesla or you drive a petrol 1990 manual, doesn't matter. What I am telling you is to allow yourself to keep your irrationality. Allow yourself and force yourself to advance, not in the rational ways of creating a better time management programs or working harder or producing more wealth. Allowing yourself to produce more knowledge, to produce more emotions, to produce more happiness, to try and keep the sanity of being irrational, of being trusting, of being a human being till the time that AI takes control. And as long as you allow yourself to become that human being that is allowing himself to be a human being by loving, trusting, having fun, doing drugs, doing whatever it is that you feel that is irrational, that is the way for you to create your own small piece of sanity in your brain and in the world. This, currently, the fourth video we will talk about what's gonna prevent it. The only way right now we have in order to keep our sanity small yet restrictive to external forces. Thank you for watching.